Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Man Cave, Friday, March 29th. And yeah, I did another one of my typical blunders. I created a directory this morning with the title of this video, and I thought that I had put a live connection out there for people to start connecting to. But I forgot to do that until about a minute and a half before we went live. So if you were looking for it and you couldn't find it, that's why. I just forgot to put it out there. And I had plenty of time to do that. I've been sitting around for 30 minutes doing nothing. Oh, it's heck to get old. It's just, I don't know. I seem like I mess up more these days than ever. I don't think that's going to get any better, unfortunately. Sporting my MVP t-shirt, MVP of the Turkey Bowl, if you remember, back in November when we had our Turkey Bowl here with the family. Anyway, I thought I'd start off by just mentioning that the auction closed, if you hadn't heard that already, and the Taylor Classical sold for $1,251 or $1,251. The Martin sold for $1,870, and the Rosa Mandolin sold for $6,250. And so that is a good chunk of change there for the widow of Randy Allen. And Cecilia is her name. I couldn't think of it, but you know me and names. But anyway, so I'm sure Cecilia will be very happy with that when I get a check to her. And I'll get that out to her before very long. I haven't contacted any of those folks yet, so I'll try to do that yet today too. Though, quite honestly, I may postpone it a day or so because today my plan is to spend most of the day with the boys and just not do anything but just spend time with them. They're going to be going home tomorrow again, and I know that Trinian especially, it was his birthday yesterday. We sang happy birthday to him on that live show last night. I know for sure he loves to fish, and I thought maybe I would surprise them with a fishing trip today and take them out to some local river, probably the the Big Piney is what it's called. We've got the Little Piney that runs right next to JR's farm, and then the Big Piney is just very similar kind of river, but it's just in a little different location. So I thought that would be a little bit more of an adventure to take them out somewhere like that. So that's what my plan is for today, so I doubt I'll get much other work done. Have you heard about 12P Ponds Brooks? Do you have any idea what that is? Well, it's a comet, and it's kind of like Halley's. This one comes every 71 years, and it's in the area right now. You can actually see it in the sky, apparently, if you know where to look and what you're looking for. It must be pretty tiny and pretty hard to see, but the best viewing for that comet is supposed to be on the 30th and 31st, and the other unique thing about it is during the total eclipse on April 8th, there is a chance, the scientists don't know for sure, but there's a chance that you'll be able to see it during the actual total eclipse while the moon's covering the sun, and it's supposed to be close to Jupiter. I don't know a whole lot about these astronomical things, but I just thought I'd mention that since I heard about it. Yep, and someone just said it's called the Devil's Comet. Yes, it is. It's also referred to that. And the reason they call it that is because it comes around kind of like this, and it kind of like makes like horns or something, is the reason they refer to it that way. But it was actually named after the discoverers. Pons discovered it in 1812, and Brooks rediscovered it, I guess, 71 years later, I guess. Or maybe 142 years later. I'm not really sure, but he discovered it later. So they named it after both of those guys that discovered the comet, Pons Brooks. Anyway, I have a very short video clip, and then we'll get into the comments. If you do have comments, try to put a few question marks on it. That way I can see it a little easier. But here's where the water wheel stands as of yesterday. As is often the case, this took a lot more work than I was anticipating, but it works really nice. You can see how it turns fairly easily, and that's even with it being out of balance. Right now it's got one real heavy spot, and it's going to go around to that heavy spot, I can tell, and that heavy spot is in this light area right here. And it's going to come back down. I guarantee you this is going to come back down right about in here, and that's going to be on the bottom when we're done. Yeah, because I know where the heavy spot is. So that means I just need to put some weight on the opposite side up here at the top, and we should be good to go. I'll experiment, of course, and make sure I get that just right. I want it as perfectly balanced as I can get it, and that way the least little trickle of water will cause it to spin. Yeah, I basically, for all intents and purposes, that part is finished now, except for the balancing. And the only other thing I was debating was I'm wondering if I should try to put some kind of coating over that thing, or if I should just leave it bare wood. I have a feeling the bare wood would hold up fine, being that it's red cedar for the most part. But you never know. And the coating I was thinking of was boiled linseed oil. Just, slop that on there, let it dry for, it's going to be probably a month or two before it's actually in the water, and that would give that coating plenty of time. If anybody's got any experience with boiled linseed oil in a water application like that, I don't know if that's a good application or not. I was just curious if anybody has any ideas of if there would be a good coating for that, or if I should just leave it bare. Really don't know. Have no idea. Don't build a lot of water wheels. I think that's everything I was planning to cover. Well, we don't have a whole lot of comments before we went live. No, I wonder why. Since I only put it out there like 2 minutes before, or a minute and a half before we went live. Okay, so John Pepper was first, though, and Ron Wintler and Gary Hayden. They found it before we went live. And then after we went live, Walt Willard was the first one to check in. Bill Rhodes, Bill Mumbo, C. Wilschik, and David Tharp has a question mark there. Good morning, all. Jerry, I rewatched the show again this morning. I really enjoyed it. Well, thanks. I haven't watched it yet myself. Often I stay up and watch them after we're done, but I was pretty beat yesterday. I don't know. I was just tired and didn't stay up, although I didn't sleep very good. I went to sleep around 12:30 and woke up around 4:30, so that's not a lot of sleep. Let's see, moving on down, any other questions? Because we could make this one a real short one today. Lester Cunningham says, great job last night. Well, thanks. I really was on pins and needles about that all day, and especially about 4 o'clock yesterday. One of these ports, and it was, wouldn't you know, it was the first one that I decided to test. I had been working all day on that water wheel and with the boys shooting and different things yesterday. So I thought I had to cram it all into just a few minutes to get ready, So I came in here about 3:30, and right around 4, I started to test the actual sound system. And the first mic I tested was channel number 4. And it wasn't working. And I'm going, are you kidding me? Because it had been working perfectly, So I wasn't expecting any problems. And the first one I checked wasn't working. So I'm instantly in panic mode. So anyway, it turned out that apparently the microphone and or cord or something was wrong. I thought the actual channel in this machine was down because I tried like 3 or 4 mics and nothing was working. And I still don't know what the full problem is, but the channel itself works. Although we didn't use channel 4 last night just to be safe. We used the other 7 channels and did not use channel 4. But anyway, it worked. It came off okay. But I was in a panic mode there just before we went live, let me tell you. And I was triple checking everything. And again, it's one of those deals where like this isn't a true mixing board, you know, the signals that this has, they flash. They hit to the peak and they're gone. And you can't really tell, did they turn? Well, especially me being colorblind, I can't tell what color they are in that real quick flash like that. Where the older mixing boards and stuff, you can kind of watch the signal go up and down a little slower or something. I don't know, because they were easier for me to follow. I can tell, and I think what it is, part of it is the mixing, the channel mixer on this. The indicators are only about that tall, so they go up real fast and go down real. So if they were longer, where you could watch them go up and down, you could tell more about it. It's very difficult, especially being colorblind. It's very difficult. And the one on the screen, it's the mix of all of it. It's just the total volume, so you can't really tell which channel's hot and which one's not. So I'm trying to watch that while I was playing last night and trying to... Yeah, it's just not easy being me. That's all I can tell you, and nobody believes it. Anyway... Ronald Todd, great jam last night. I think everyone really enjoyed it. Hope you all had a lot of fun. Well, we did. It was enjoyable. Bill Webb, almost convinced myself you weren't going to have a vlog this morning. Now I'm late. Yeah, no, it was just it was just Alzheimer's, I guess, or something. I know. I really thought I had put it out there. And I was totally convinced. I was totally confident that everything was fine this morning. I would just do it like normal. And then I got up here and going, oh, I don't think I put that out there yet. I don't know. Anyway. Dottie Hildebrand, Jerry, I did enjoy the concert last night. The best concert by far. Well, thanks. Wayne Blitz, good morning, Jerry. Today is the day you should sing that song about Crown of Thorns from the Old Dairy Farmer Wayne. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Well, I haven't done it since I did it the last time, so I'll see if I can. Now, what are the odds that this is still in tune? I haven't touched it in several days either. Let me see. Yeah, it's in tune. When you're at the level I'm at, it doesn't really matter. Tuning doesn't help much. Close enough. Have you ever seen a dogwood tree growing wild in the woods? The story goes that little tree once grew so large, but no more you see. That little dogwood tree so small once made a cross for one and all, and it had thorns that made a crown for our king, so heaven bound. Now in the spring, the dogwood blooms. It blooms so white and tenderly. It is a symbol of his life and his kingdom way up high. That little dogwood tree so small once made a cross for one and all, and it had thorns that made a crown for our king, so heaven bound. That little dogwood tree so small once made a cross for one and all, and it had thorns that made a crown for our king, so heaven bound. That's all I got. It amazes me I was able to remember the words. And I think I remembered them all. I'm not sure I did. And that went out of focus again, just because it can. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Like I told you before, I'm more amazed that these even work at all. Because with me and technology, I mean, I understand technology, but for whatever reason, it always messes up around me. I don't know. Just like this focus thing. Why is it doing that? There's no reason for that to go out of focus. It's just being ornery. Just because it can be ornery. I don't know. I give up. I give up. Let's see. Moving on down. Kathy Voles. Great jam last night. I could hear your voice come out so glorious. Well, thank you. Ronald Todd. Jerry, you might be able to sand the heavy side of the wheel a little. It doesn't look to be that heavy. No, it's way heavy. Trust me, it's way heavy. You can lay it there and it'll just come down. And sanding, the wood didn't change it at all. After I put the ceramic, it was heavy in that spot before I started, and after I put all the wood on it, it was still heavy in that spot. So it's going to take some weight. I have a feeling it's going to be about a half a pound of weight. Actually, is what I think it's going to be. That's just a guess. Don't really know for sure. It could only be 4 or 5 ounces for all I know. Let's see. Dean Guyman. I have an auto harp with tuning pegs slipping. Won't hold in tune. It is only a few years old. Usually old ones do this. Suggestions for remedies. Well, I'm not sure this will work, but it might. There's these things called peg drops for violin pegs that you can put in the violin hole, the violin peg hole, and it will keep them from slipping. You might be able to get them at your music store, or probably could order it online from Amazon. I doubt they're very expensive. They're called peg drops, and at least that's the name I think they're called. That'd be my first idea. The other idea is, are the pegs bottomed out? Do you know if they're hitting the bottom? Because like on those kinds of pegs, you typically, they're slightly tapered, and so you push them down in the hole more, and that makes them grip better. As you're tightening them, you're pushing down. So without seeing it, I don't know what that might be an issue too. Maybe they're not pushed down, or maybe they're actually bottoming out, and you could drill your hole a little bit deeper, with a smaller bit. Don't try to drill it the size of the hole. Drill it a little smaller, so that the peg just goes down in that small cavity. That would be the only other suggestion I would have. If anybody else has a better suggestion, feel free. I'm no auto harp expert, I can tell you that. Bill Mumbo, just bringing a little excitement and suspense into our day, Jerry. Yeah. When I'm involved, there's always something. And the way you said it is pretty nice. Paul Lanier, last night sounded perfect. Wonderful effort. Well, thanks. I'm glad it worked out. Like I said, I haven't heard it yet. When I listen to it, I have a pretty critical ear. I'll probably not feel quite so enthused about it once I hear it. Blackjack Guitar. Jerry, did you get a chance to hunt for morels? No, I didn't. It just didn't work out yesterday. I wanted to. Maybe we can try that today, too. Have a great Good Friday with grandkids. Ben Boyd, I'll have to watch last night's concert today. Had to choose between the concert and the NCAA basketball tournament. Basketball? No, my the smallest one, the smaller of the two boys, Leighton, he is a sports nut. I mean, the kid knows everything about basketball, everything about football. It's unbelievable. So I'm sure if he knew that was on, he was probably watching that in the other room in there. No doubt, because he has eat up with it. Of course, we don't really have cable or anything, so I don't know if he could get it. But anyway. Bill Webb, I missed the live show last night. Thursdays are motorcycle ministry bike night at Freddy's. I listen to it later. Okay. And Bruce Hines, good morning. And then let's see, Dennis K. Great show. Concerning your studio, ever considered, here we go, Cakewalk or Bandib as a DAW? Yeah, I've thought about them. We didn't even use the DAW last night. As if the DAW's for the recording of the stuff, and we weren't recording or anything. But the DAW is that I'm using is Reaper, and after I've done a lot of research, I'll tell you what, I think Reaper's just as good as they come. If you get out and do a lot of research, which I did a lot of research on the different DAWs, and very few people have anything bad to say about Reaper. It's pretty much full blown. It's cheap and it works great. So, I'm so far pretty happy with it. I'm nowhere even close to. I'm not even a good novice on it yet, let alone expert. So I've still got a lot to learn about it, but I think it's going to more than handle everything we want to do. And I've already purchased it. You can actually use it free for like 6 months or 3 months or something. And once I installed it and saw how it was, I just went ahead and bought it. Because I've decided it's perfect for what I want to do, I think. Well, anyway, that's probably everything I've got for you guys, and we will. I don't know if I'll get a video out this weekend or not. I do have a lot of stuff in the can. If I had time to edit it, I probably would. But like I said, I'm not going to do anything today. I'm probably just going to spend it with the boys. Y'all have a happy Easter and the rest of a good Friday here. So we'll see you when we see you, hopefully on another video soon.